Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to dive into a condition that can be so confusing both for the people who live with it and for the people who love them: borderline personality disorder. This one phrase says it all, doesn't it? It's so often linked with BPD because it just perfectly captures that intense, contradictory storm of emotions right at the heart of the disorder. It's this deep fear of being abandoned clashing with this equally deep emotional chaos. So to really get what's driving this, we need to take a closer look. All right, so to understand what's really going on behind that emotional push and pull, we have to start with a clear clinical foundation. What exactly is borderline personality disorder, or BPD? Okay, so here's the official definition from the DSM-5. It talks about a pervasive pattern of instability. Now, that word pervasive is everything. It means this isn't just about having a bad day or a bad mood. It's a consistent pattern that pretty much touches every single aspect of a person's life, and it usually starts showing up in young adulthood. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. A diagnosis only requires 5 of these 9 criteria. And that's exactly why BPD can look so different from one person to the next. You could have one person whose main struggle is with self-harm and that chronic feeling of emptiness, while someone else's BPD might show up as really chaotic relationships and intense outbursts of anger. It's a spectrum, not just one single story. So how common is this? Well, estimates put it at about 1 to 2% of the general population. But, and this is a big but, a lot of researchers think that number might actually be higher. It's believed that a lot of men with the disorder get misdiagnosed, often with something like antisocial personality disorder, just because their symptoms can look a little different. Okay, so this is probably the most crucial idea to get your head around. BPD basically creates 2 totally different realities. There's the painful inner world of the person with the disorder, and then there's the chaotic outer world that their loved ones often experience. To really, truly understand BPD, you've got to look at both sides of that coin. This is just such a powerful quote from Kathleen, who has lived with BPD for over 45 years. It gives us a real window into that constant internal storm she's talking about. It's not something that just fades away. It's a daily, sometimes hourly battle with these incredibly intense emotions. So let's try to step into that inner world for a second. Just imagine feeling this terrifying, gnawing sense of emptiness, of not really knowing who you are from one moment to the next, and being so petrified of being left alone that it drives your every move. It's no wonder this can lead to some really desperate behaviors just to try and cope with it all. And now, let's flip the coin. This quote here really speaks to the devastating toll BPD can take on partners, on kids, on family members. It's like, while the person with BPD is drowning in their own inner storm, the people around them are left trying to navigate the wreckage, feeling absolutely helpless and just exhausted. And this chart just illustrates that disconnect perfectly. On the left, you've got all that internal pain, the fear, the emptiness, the rage. And then on the right, you see the external behavior that it causes. To a loved one, these behaviors can seem completely baffling or random or just hurtful. But understanding that connection, that the behavior is driven by the pain, well, that's the first real step toward empathy and finding a path forward. So after seeing these huge challenges from both sides, we get to the most important question of all. Can things get better? Is there a way out of this storm? Well, the good news is decades of research and lived experience say yes, absolutely. This is the question that matters most, right? To everyone touched by this disorder. For so many years, BPD was seen as this untreatable life sentence. But thankfully, the research and the real-life stories of people like Kathleen are completely rewriting that old narrative. And the answer is a clear, resounding yes. The research is solid. The long-term outlook is actually really hopeful. That awful stigma that has surrounded BPD for so long, it's just not supported by the facts. With the right treatment, people absolutely can and do recover and build stable, meaningful lives. So, how does recovery actually happen? Well, it's not about finding some magic pill. It's all about learning practical, real-world skills. Kathleen's story showed us that. She found real hope when she started something called dialectical behavior therapy, or DBT. It's a type of therapy that was literally designed to teach people the coping skills they might be missing. DBT is basically built on these 4 pillars. Think of it like a toolkit for life. Mindfulness teaches you how to just observe your emotions without letting them sweep you away. Distress tolerance gives you real strategies for getting through a crisis. Emotion regulation helps you figure out your feelings and manage them. And interpersonal effectiveness, well, that teaches you how to build healthier relationships. It's all incredibly practical. And this is just so important. Recovery is not a solo mission. It's not a journey someone takes alone. Support systems are absolutely vital, and not just for the person with BPD, but for their family and friends too. Everyone involved needs tools and understanding. And the really great news here is that there is a whole ecosystem of support out there, whether it's peer support groups where people can connect with others who just get it, or amazing programs like Family Connections that actually teach families the same DBT skills their loved one is learning. Help is available for every single person touched by this disorder. So in the end, understanding BPD really comes down to three things: empathy, skills, and support. It's about seeing the deep pain inside, addressing the chaos on the outside, and working together toward a future where everyone has the tools they need. The central question of DBT therapy is the one you see right here, and it applies to everybody. How can we build a life worth living for everyone involved? The answer, really, lies in connection, in education, and in a shared belief in hope.